What happens when the school bully pushes the wrong girl, one who's been training for this exact moment? There's something about high school cafeterias that brings out the worst in people. Maybe it's the noise, the low buzz of conversation that never dies down. Maybe it's the way everyone pretends not to watch each other when they definitely are. At Oak Ridge High, the cafeteria wasn't just about lunch. It was a live battleground for social hierarchy, reputation, and silent wars waged through glances and who sits where rules. That's where it happened. It was a Thursday. The sun was out. Juniors and seniors were already halfway counting down the days to summer break. Skipping homework. Zoning out in class. Normal. Lyric Harmon had just finished her pre-calc test and was heading toward the cafeteria. Earbuds tucked in her pocket, a tattered copy of Kindred half-read in her hand, and her backpack slung casually over one shoulder. She was 16. Quiet. Sharp. The kind of girl who didn't raise her voice unless she absolutely had to. The kind people assumed didn't notice what went on around her, but she did. She just didn't advertise it. She scanned the lunchroom. Most tables were full. Athletes in one corner. Theater kids near the windows. The social media crowd, eyes glued to their screens, dominating the row by the vending machines. Her usual spot, window side, second row from the back, was taken. No big deal. She adjusted and headed toward a half-filled table nearer the center. That's when she saw it. A backpack. Dumped dead center on the bench like it had paid rent to be there. She paused. Made eye contact with the guy who'd left it there. Tall. Senior. Letterman jacket. Blonde buzz cut. The kind of boy who got away with things not because he was subtle, but because no one ever bothered stopping him. Chase Warner. He was infamous. Not for achievements. Not for kindness. But for the way people instinctively gave him space, like he was a permanent hazard in the hallway that the school janitors had long given up fixing. Lyric walked over, cool as always. Hey, she said, polite but clear. Can I sit here? Could you move your bag? Chase didn't even glance up. Just kept poking at the food on his tray. Then, slowly, he smirked, tilted his head toward her, eyes narrowed like he couldn't believe she dared speak to him. You serious? He asked, flat tone. Lyric nodded. Yeah, just need a seat. He leaned back dramatically, as if her request was an insult, then looked over at his two buddies sitting further down. One of them chuckled under his breath. Whole cafeteria, Chase said, loud enough for a few heads to turn. And you want to sit right here? It's not your table, Lyric said, even-keeled. Just your back. The air around the table shifted. The smirk vanished from his face. His jaw flexed. Lyric didn't flinch. She stood her ground. Chase reached down, grabbed the backpack, and with theatrical slowness moved it maybe 2 inches, just enough to technically clear space. There, he muttered. Go ahead. Most would have walked away. Maybe laughed it off, found another table. Not Lyric. She sat down. Steady. Smooth. Like this was exactly what she had planned. A couple kids nearby snickered. Someone whispered, Dang, she's bold. Lyric opened her book. Eyes on the page. Unbothered. But Chase wasn't laughing. He kept glancing at her. Like her calmness unsettled something in him. Like he was trying to figure out how someone like her didn't melt under pressure. 5 minutes passed. Then 10. Lyric didn't say a word. Didn't touch her food. Just read. Looked up only when someone passed by. Chase kept chatting with his boys, but louder now. Trying to perform. Trying to be seen. Until he wasn't. He turned to her. You think you're tough or something? Lyric looked up, brows slightly raised. Excuse me. I said, he repeated, louder now. You think you're tough? Sitting here. Acting like you don't care. She closed the book. Slowly. No rush. Intentional. I'm just sitting, she replied. Then sit somewhere else. He was standing now, chest puffed, voice rising. Conversations around them started to die down. A few phones emerged from pockets. People sensed a show. Don't touch me again, Lyric said softly. Chase scoffed. Then slammed his palm against the table, hard enough to make a couple students flinch. And then he shoved her. Not hard. But enough. Enough to test her. Enough to challenge her. But that was his mistake. Because Lyric Harmon wasn't just any quiet girl trying to find a seat. She wasn't looking for drama. She didn't come to school to be a headline. But she was ready. She'd been ready. Since she was 13, after an incident at the park had shifted something in her world. A stranger. An encounter. Her mother, Celeste, hadn't said much, just signed her up for Krav Maga classes the next day. It had started as a precaution. But for Lyric, it became something else. 3 years. 3 times a week. Rain or shine. She trained. She learned. Her body understood pressure. Her breath knew discipline. Her hands moved with instinct. No one at school knew. It wasn't for social points. It was for survival. And when Chase shoved her, she didn't react with fear. She stood up. Calm. Measured. Chase laughed. You standing up for real? He leaned in, trying to get in her head. His voice mocking, too loud for comfort. His buddies watched, waiting for the laugh line. Lyric didn't blink. He stepped in again, shoulder tensed. That's when she moved. Not fast. Not reckless. Precise. She shifted her weight, let his push glide past her shoulder. Stepped into him. Hooked his wrist. One hand on the elbow. Pivot. And he was down. Flat on his back. Cafeteria tray scattered. Backpack askew. Silence. For a heartbeat, no one moved. Then the room exploded, gasps, whispers, someone's phone dropping mid-record. Lyric stepped back. Hands still open. No threat. Just calm. She hadn't hurt him. Not really. She hadn't struck. She hadn't yelled. She just moved. Chase scrambled up, red-faced. Furious. Humiliated. You think this is funny? He barked. Lyric looked him dead in the eye. Are you done embarrassing yourself? That line would be repeated in captions across every major social platform by nightfall. The assistant principal arrived 2 minutes later. Miss Harmon, he said, voice tight, come with me. She didn't protest. She put her book in her bag and followed. Inside the office, Chase was already seated, still flushed, still stewing. Mr. Langston, the AP, gestured them both in. Someone want to tell me what happened? Chase was first. She attacked me. Threw me on the ground. Lyric simply said. He shoved me. Twice. I warned him not to. I redirected him. Redirected? Langston blinked. I train in Krav Maga. I didn't hit him. I used his movement. That's it. Chase scoffed. She's a ninja now? Langston sighed. Rubbed his temples. You're not hurt? Chase muttered. Nah. And you, Miss Harmon? I'm fine. He nodded. You'll both stay in separate areas for the day. I'll review the footage. No suspension for now. That night, the video hit TikTok, then Instagram, then Snapchat, then back to TikTok with overlays, slow-mo, filters, and reaction duets. By Friday morning, she wasn't invisible anymore. Whispers followed her. Glances lingered. Some admiring. Some wary. Bryce didn't show up. Rumor had it, he claimed he felt unsafe. Lyric sat with her friend Simone at lunch. You really flipped him, Simone whispered. Lyric shook her head. No. I moved. He fell. Across the room, freshmen pointed. Teachers glanced. One even asked if she was okay, not if she needed help, just okay, like she'd become something other. 2 of Chase's buddies approached her during free period. Yo, you really went WWE on him, huh? One smirked. Lyric faced him. Calm. Still. You think this was about a seat? He blinked. Wasn't it? No, she said. It was about respect. Later that day, the principal called her and her mother back in. Chase may transfer, he explained. We're not punishing you, Lyric. We want to ensure you're safe. She replied, I've always been safe. It's other people who didn't expect me to be. On Monday, Chase returned. No swagger. No entourage. Lyric didn't look at him. Didn't flinch. Didn't smirk. She just kept walking. Until Friday. At the back gate, earbuds in, she spotted him. Alone. I'm not here to fight, he said. She stayed still. I messed up, he admitted. I let people hype me up. I thought pushing you would make me look tough. But you didn't even lose control. She replied, I've had to handle a lot. People don't expect you to know how. I'm not asking for forgiveness, he said. Just, I was wrong. She looked him in the eye. Thank you for saying that. He nodded and left. That night, Lyric sat with her mother at the kitchen table, folding laundry. You okay? Her mother asked. Lyric smiled. Yeah, I am. Because it was never about the cafeteria. Never about Chase. Never about viral fame. It was about worth. About knowing when to stand your ground. And how. You don't need volume to be powerful. Just the courage to hold your space when the world expects you to shrink. And sometimes, to remind them why silence should never be mistaken for weakness.